Is Goku dumb? I believe he isn't. Let me explain. One of the most enduring tropes in media is the lovable, dim-witted jock. We know them well. The muscle-bound characters with a penchant for brain farts. From Patrick Star to Joey Tribbiani, there's a plethora of examples. Anime, especially the action shonen genre, is no exception. However, Son Goku from Dragon Ball often gets lumped into this category, which I never really agreed with. Goku has always felt more ignorant than anything. I think most people forget that at the start of Dragon Ball, Goku is just in some woods ducked off from society and only heard stories about stuff like girls and cars. And throughout the early saga of Dragon Ball, Goku is mostly portrayed as a weird little kid who's just ignorant and innocent. I mean, just look at Bulma's reaction to seeing Goku freak out about something so ordinary. However, I don't think the show ever portrayed Goku as being dumb. There are even a few episodes of Goku just going through West City, and it has some humorous moments from him stopping traffic, getting in a taxi with no money, and being confused when he gets kicked out, to him being led to an alley for someone to try and rob him. More importantly, it shows just how much Goku is a fish out of water, and his lack of knowledge about certain stuff that he was never exposed to. So for a lot of Dragon Ball, he's just learning on the fly. He does have some smart moments, like when Goku tells everyone that killing Piccolo wouldn't be the best choice because if he dies, Kami will too, and the Dragon Balls wouldn't work. That's some serious deductive reasoning right there. Now, we get to Dragon Ball Z, where I think the dumb Goku idea really started to take hold. But even then, is he really dumb? Crafty? Sure. Arrogant? Can be, but stupid? Still no. For the start of Dragon Ball Z, I think Goku is about average intelligence. I'd never really find him dumb, but I'd be a liar if I just came out and said that Goku was this 1000 IQ military strategist with insane statistical prowess and a photographic memory. Goku isn't dumb, but he can be sometimes, just like all of us. For the first questionable thing you possibly could say was dumb was letting Raditz free after grabbing his tail. And yes, it was a dumb decision since Raditz is a bad person who kidnapped his son. However, I think this speaks more towards Goku's morality than anything. Android 8 had put the thought of sparing enemies into Goku, so while he didn't use that advice immediately, uses it for people like Piccolo and now Raditz. The added fact that Raditz is his brother and he's promising to leave the planet also contributes to Goku letting him go. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, Goku continues to show moments of both wisdom and naivety. He's not a conventional thinker, which sometimes leads to brilliant battle strategies and other times to decisions that might seem questionable to others. But that's just Goku being Goku. He operates on a different wavelength, guided by his strong moral compass and his unique perspective on life and battle. Now, we skip forward to the Cell Saga, where Goku's intelligence really shines, despite some controversial decisions. First, Goku immediately wakes up from his virus and knows he has to go beyond regular Super Saiyan. He then introduces the group to the hyperbolic time chamber, a strategic move that allows for accelerated training. Throughout this saga, Goku's planning is evident. He quickly figures out the higher grades of Super Saiyan are useless, dedicating his and Gohan's time to master the regular Super Saiyan form. He specifically designs Gohan's training to harness his potential to beat Cell. This isn't just a father training his son, it's a calculated strategy to unleash Gohan's hidden power. Goku fights Cell first, not out of ego, but to give Gohan a first-hand look at how Cell fights. Now, let's address the infamous Senzu Bean incident. At first glance, this could be seen as a monumentally dumb decision. I mean, he threw a bean that fully heals you to a person who's taken lives and wants to destroy the world after the tournament. But there's a bit more to it. Firstly, Goku fights with honor and often holds his opponents to the same standard. Since it was a tournament setting, in Goku's mind, it was only fair to have Gohan and a recovered Cell fight on equal footing. This speaks to Goku's strong moral compass, even if it sometimes leads to decisions others find questionable questionable. Secondly, and perhaps more importantly, it could be argued that Goku knew if Cell recovered, he would be able to push Gohan into needing Super Saiyan 2. Goku had spent time training with Gohan and had seen glimpses of his son's hidden power when he gets mad, so he believed that a fully powered Cell could bring out Gohan's true potential. The whole time, Goku knew Cell was going to push Gohan into bringing out his full potential, and that's exactly what happened. It's a risky strategy, sure, but he was the only one that understood if Gohan was pushed to his limits, he would be the strongest. Now, the part about not telling Gohan the plan is questionable, but it possibly aligns with Goku's tendency to push himself and others to their limits in the heat of battle. Even Goku's misunderstanding of Gohan's reluctance to fight is understandable when you consider their history. In the Saiyan Saga, Goku didn't see Gohan being scared initially. When Goku arrived, Gohan offered to fight alongside him, and later fought Vegeta. During the Frieza Saga, Goku saw through Krillin's memories, Gohan taking on the Ginyu Force and eventually standing against Frieza. Even in their Android and Cell Saga training, Gohan repeatedly asked Goku to push him to his limits. Given this context, Goku's expectations of Gohan's willingness to fight make sense. Gohan's reluctance in the Cell games was a bit of an abrupt change from what Goku had seen before. Lastly, let's not forget Goku's quick thinking when he teleports himself and Cell away from Earth. Yes, it came at the expense of King Kai, but it saved the entire planet. This split-second decision showcases Goku's ability to make tough choices under extreme pressure. Let's move on to the Buu Saga, where Goku makes a few decisions that are harder to justify from a strategic standpoint. The most questionable ones involve not using Super Saiyan 3 to defeat Vegeta or Buu when he had the chance. I have to admit, these decisions were dumb and reckless. Goku's logic of entrusting the world to the younger generation makes sense in principle. After all, he knows he won't always be there to protect it. However, by not beating Vegeta quickly with Super Saiyan 3, he inadvertently allowed Buu to emerge and wreak havoc on the world. Goku's reasoning here was partly based on not knowing how long his time on Earth would last if he transformed. It makes sense, but I feel like the stakes were simply too high to hold back. However, you could possibly make the case that Goku underestimated the threat Buu posed, since the Supreme Kai hyped up every enemy they faced, and they easily dealt with them. But his second offense isn't so justifiable. He gets a shot to right his wrong later, but he wastes it by not beating Buu, the main antagonist, when he has the chance. This decision has catastrophic consequences. Buu goes on to kill every human, absorb Goku's friends and family, and ultimately destroy the Earth. There's no way to justify this decision. It was frankly a dumb move on Goku's part. However, it's important to put these mistakes into perspective. Throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball Z, which spans numerous sagas and hundreds of episodes, you can only point to about 4 or 5 decisions that can be argued as truly bad ones. And to me, making a few dumb decisions doesn't make someone dumb overall, especially considering the immense pressure and world-ending stakes Goku often faces. Goku in Dragon Ball Z has been cocky.
You're going down, and I doubt I'll even have to use the Kaioken against you.
Witty.
Yeah, I wasn't really suggesting. What?
Serious.
Planet Namek too! I will defeat you!
And overall, knows when to be goofy, but also when to lock in.
Vegeta, you don't have to go anywhere.
Now, I think the real question wasn't really if Goku from Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z is dumb, but if Dragon Ball Super Goku is dumb. And I believe the answer is yes and no. Let's get into it. First, it's important to consider the context of Dragon Ball Super's creation and target audience. This could be a speculation on my part, but due to the fact that Dragon Ball Z is an older show, a significant portion of its fan base has aged. Many original fans might not continue the series due to adult responsibilities. So what do companies do? They introduce the franchise to a younger audience to ensure its longevity. Believe Believe it or not, I'm sure there are kids out there whose first experience with Dragon Ball was Dragon Ball Super, kind of like how my first experience was with the Kai version. This shift in target audience has significant implications for how characters, especially Goku, are portrayed. With this younger audience in mind, I think they exaggerate a lot of Goku's simple-mindedness and lightheartedness, sometimes to the point of appearing dumb. This serves two purposes: to tell a joke or to progress the story in a way that's easily digestible for newer, younger viewers. What really accentuates this perception is the increased number of slice-of-life moments in Super compared to Dragon Ball Z. Super has more slice-of-life episodes, which in turn gives us more lighthearted moments that are often filled with Goku dumb humor. These moments, while entertaining, can overshadow Goku's more intelligent actions and decisions. However, it's crucial to note that there are definitely moments where Goku's knowledge and perceptiveness shine through in Super. For instance, Goku instantly figuring out that Broly was being controlled demonstrates his sharp intuition and ability to read people and situations quickly. Unfortunately, these moments of insight are often overshadowed by the more frequent comedic dumb Goku scenes. It's also worth considering how Goku's character has evolved over the series. In Dragon Ball, he was an innocent, naive child learning about the world. As we move into Dragon Ball Z, we see a more mature Goku. The higher stakes forced him to become a more serious and strategic person, though still maintaining his lighthearted nature. And finally, in Dragon Ball Super, we see a Goku who has become incredibly strong and has befriended gods and angels. The stakes aren't at their highest until later in Super, which might explain why Goku seems to feel he can afford to be more carefree. Goku is a complex character who has shown capacity for both brilliant strategic thinking and occasional poor decision-making. His perceived dumbness often stems from his unique upbringing, strong moral code, and single-minded focus on becoming stronger. These traits, combined with his carefree attitude, can sometimes be misinterpreted as a lack of intelligence. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Also, check out my other videos. See you there.